Hey, yo, what's up? You know what it is? It's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the God Speaks on it. Yo, while I wait on the rest of the crew to get together on this Microsoft shit, because we got that collab and it's coming a little bit later, I figured that I would do a follow-up to something that we just saw at the Microsoft joint, and that, of course, being Dragon Ball FighterZ. Holy shit! I'm like, damn, that shit look fucking sick. See, there are some days in this life where I am proud to love fighting games the way that I do. Dragon Ball FighterZ is a grandiose example of why I love the fighting game, and to know that the gods over there at Arc System Works is bringing you this heat, dude. That shit look fucking ignorant. But the thing is, coming out that trailer and then watching it repeatedly over and over again to try to glean what it was that I could from said trailer before I activated said guideline to make said video, degrees of separation and such, is I see what they're going for. It is like the next generation version of Extreme Butoden. So you really do have to wonder. It's like we did see in the trailer that they doing the 3-on-3, and it is like assists and tags. Now, it looks like that it's assists and tags. So that does make me wonder: is the game gonna have Z assists? If not, is it just gonna be like what type of assist system would it be? Will it be kind of like where you have like it's Marvel where you choose certain assists, or do you get freaky like Skullgirls and let you create your own assist? And I just have questions. I'm like, I have questions. You have to wonder that because this is the type of game they're going for. It's like, what is the roster going to be? Because right now, what? Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu. That's where our roster is right now. You think about the usual suspects when you expand outside of that. Of course, you got my Bay Android 18. You got Trunks in there somewhere. You got the homeboy Piccolo in there somewhere. And then once you get those characters, then it gets a little weird because of what's the state of Dragon Ball at the moment. Because are you really finna go for the latest and greatest from Dragon Ball Super, or if this gonna be a game that's gonna try to sell a story? So if so, then that means you gotta include Raditz and Nappa and Raccoon and Captain Ginyu and those usual folks. It's like, is they gonna go movies, or you gonna get Janemba in this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know the God Broly gonna be in it. It ain't the Dragon Ball game where he ain't that. And of course, because they push him, Bardock's gonna be in this game somewhere. So it's like, this game has a real opportunity to be a Guilty Gear, like how Xrd has been, by slowly building a roster. Because I can't for the life of me right now, and I do not want to Google it because of the way that I'm on, to try to figure out what was the starting roster. I'm thinking it was like 18 characters or somewhere in the teens of characters, and it expanded forward. It's like, when I sit up here and I legitimately think about this, and let me roll with this, is what I don't want is I don't want this to become the next burst limit, where they sell themselves short. You know what I'm saying? Well, we should have did this if and when, because again, if you guys remember Burst Limit, that game ends right at the end of the Cell saga. That is where that game ends. There is no Majin Buu. There is no future. There is no this. There is a whole bunch of things that I wish they would have done with a sequel. So if Arc System Works is really trying to do some dirt, they need to go balls out. They need to, if they think of a character they think is going to make sense in this game as a playable character, they need to be in this roster. Because, again, I have to consider this and think about what it is that the average Dragon Ball player wants out of a game that they interact with that's supposed to be Dragon Ball. It's not this. It is not this. It's that it's like Arc System Works reinvented the remix with Persona 4 Arena. you really have to wonder, is that's how they gonna go with this? It's the sensible thing to do, because what you want is you want to give average Joe Blow, I want to press R2 in circle to make bullshit happen. Give him something, because he, she, it, and they, and all them and their attack helicopters are going to be the mystical and magical key to make sure that this game still has blood in it. Because, see, it's going to be people like me. I'm going to get in the lab and I'm going to go deep and I'm going to have some fun. I don't really can't sit up here right now and tell you that right at this point what type of competitive legs this game can have. But you never know. It's like if this game catch esports wildfire or something, then, you know, Arc Sister Works may support it. But it's like Arc Sister Works don't even pay attention to their own games and how they blowing up. So that's not really even a factor, even when it should be. But like I said, what I don't want is I don't want this to be another burst limit. I definitely don't want this to be a Super Dragon Ball where a game that looks right now as I'm talking this amazing to be overlooked and completely shafted and shitted on because of whatever. Again, this is a world where I have not touched a Xenoverse game, so I have no idea how dumb that game go and how accessible is it for those who play it. It's like it seems to sell enough for them to make a sequel. So it's like I'm looking at this right now and I'm just exploring the map of possibilities of what could happen if and or when, and it's like this could be a one and done. This could be we get 15, 20 characters in this roster and that's it forever. And that's not what anybody wants. Is that the thing is, and I said this before when I talked about Extreme Butoden, is that game has become like the basis for everything. It's like it wouldn't surprise me within the next year or so is if we get a Naruto game in that engine. Is that when you sit up here and think about those three, the big three of Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto, which ain't really the big three given the current state of Shonen Jump anymore, we got Dragon Ball FighterZ over here. It's like One Piece do whatever the hell it's gonna do, and we got Boruto, which is the future, and we got that Naruto the Boruto Shinobi Strikers or whatever, with no real other than that of what's gonna happen, because I still sit up here and pray to the many-faced God every day that Boruto Ninja Taisen is gonna be a thing. So, you know, Boruto Gekito Ninja Taisen, that has a wonderful ring to it, don't you think? You know what I'm saying? It's like, when you think about Shonen Jump, it's like, I'm somebody who enjoyed My Hero Academia Battlefall, but I don't really think that Dempsey's going to touch that again, and nor does Nando Bandai want to really embrace the system in that way, because they got too many clickers and tap games and stuff for fucking iPhones and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when I don't really know what the current state of Shonen Jump is to really name anything other than that there's this really big hit that they could do something with. So, I don't know. The end of the day is this game looks fucking amazeballs, and I do not want to see this be some one and done thing. Arc System Works is doing the Lord's work with this video game, and I want this game to be something. But at the same time, I have to understand that when you put Dragon Ball on something and then you give it a fighting designation, that means a whole lot to Jimmy Joe Bob, who sits up here and wants to press R2 in circle to make shit happen because he's lazy as fuck. We've had this discussion. I do not want Dragon Ball FighterZ to become the next Super Dragon Ball Z. That is a thing that would be a travesty given what this game is, could be, and do for the future of that franchise when it comes to fighting games in question. I don't really know what else to say here other than something I already said of it's time to do that Persona 5 Shin Megami Tensei fighter. It's time for Arc System Works to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's time for them to do that. In a dream world, we would be on the third Battle Fantasia. You know what I'm saying? That there would have been more than 1/5 of the North Star fighting game, and Capcom would have allowed them to do another Sengoku Basara cross video game, but we do not live in that universe, so there. Something, Fate Unlimited codes, but anyway, the point is this, And it's so important that I've said it 2 or 3 times in this video, but just let me repeat it once more so that I understand that I said it and you, the listener, is understanding what it is that I'm trying to put down. I understand that when you put Dragon Ball and fighting game together, given what average Dragon Ball fan wants, this ain't it. It looks amazing. It looks damn sexy. And because Arc System Works is on the motherfucking train on this business, it is going to equally be that business. It is going to be that. The question is that can Arc System Works give Billy Joe Bob Jim, his mama, his daddy, his sister, cousin, all them in their attack helicopters, give them something that they can feel, that's something that I can do cool stuff, and then let the lab monsters like me and all the other lab monsters around the world do what they do, and let the cats that go hard, that want to do the esports thing, compete, do all that, get it on the Evo stage, blase this, blase that. It has to be all of that. Or it has to be all of that, but it has to be more of, we need to get casual Billy Joe Bob in this motherfucker. He need to be able to press some buttons and some shit need to happen. Some big old fucking beans. I'm like, it is the whole fucking thesis of what Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is right this fucking second, given the current state of whatever the fuck. So, I do not want to see this video game become the next Super Dragon Ball Z, because that would be a utterly and fucking travesty. It would be a travesty. Period. Travesty. The end. I don't really know what other words you want me to use, but having work like that go to waste. To put all that work, make it look that good, and to look and what looks like at this current point a damn good fucking fighting game, to sit up here and be because I can't press hit, and I can't do this because of blah blah blah, and such and so and so, and then no motherfucker other than the hardcore player. I'm like, from my understanding, Extreme Butoden did decent. I really didn't go to the usual spots and hear the usual complaints of the game too hard for me to control, because the game was very simple. It's down. Everybody does the same exact thing. The only different thing is that when you press the buttons, different shit happen, but you do the same shit with the same characters, which kept the execution bar low for Billy Joe Bob to get in there and do some old wicked ass shit. But you have to wonder that, given that this looks like it is a follow-up to Extreme Butoden in a way that it's expanding on the product in a way that makes sense, is it going to be that same thing, or are we really finna get that Arc System Works dirty work, which could drive a lot of people away? That is the question. It's like I said, I talked about the roster earlier. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your rest of your Star Wars of future Trunks, Bay 18 and fucking Piccolo, and then you do whatever else you gotta do after that. I'm like, I gotta assume that because I saw Go Freeze in that motherfucker, that means they finna do some super stuff. And given what I've heard about current super, there are certain things that people probably want given the state of Dragon Ball at this very fucking moment. But you really gotta realize is that you have to be able to balance what it is that the streets want with what a game could properly need to be successful. So I am going to watch this, as I do all fighting games, with an intense and close eye to really see what Dragon Ball FighterZ ultimately becomes. And also to really wonder, is that the game, is that still, because I don't think, because they posted it on Facebook, like that's the name of the game. I just thought it was a working title or something. Hell if I know. So, we'll see. We shall see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the mic off here. I'm waiting for Jay to finish doing what he doing, you know what I'm saying? And we going to get on it. I'm going to try to get a hold of the Evil Freak, and I'm going to see what he got to say. And even Steve-O motherfucking ass, because it's Microsoft and he love they dirty draws. So it should be interesting to hear what the rest of the squadron got to say about what they saw, because I've got words. But because I only got on the mic to talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ just to stall for time until Jay get done, it is what it is with that. And now you've heard my thoughts about that. I just hope and pray that this game do not become a Super Dragon Ball Z. It don't become a burst limit. It becomes something that Namco Bandai wants to expand upon, expand forward on, and do dirt with it. And while I'm sitting up here I'm sitting up here thinking about this, I really hope one day they get around to that Ruby game, and when the hell is a Senran Kagura fighter coming out? Because those would be both interesting things that I would love to see. So I'm just putting that out in the ether. Just putting it out there in the ether. Because once you put it out there in the ether, somebody gonna catch it. So I'm gonna let it get caught. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna turn this to a video. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I reactivate the God mic in moments after I get this done. Once Jay give me the call and we can get rocking and rolling. So with that being said, I am of course the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And I'd like to thank you for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And with that, I'll have you guys next time, man. Peace out.